Imagine living your life after 50 and feeling energized and excited about your future. Welcome to the Women in the Middle podcast, the podcast for women who are ready to figure out what they want and create the life they deserve. Here's your host and master certified life coach, Susie Rosenstein.
Hey there, welcome back to the podcast, Women in the Middle. I'm your host, Susie Rosenstein, and I am so glad to be here with you again this week because today we're going to be talking about something that maybe you haven't given much thought about. It is all about yoga pants. More specifically, we're going to be talking about your relationship with them, what you make yoga pants mean, and how they can help you completely disconnect from the truth. In a way, yoga pants give you freedom, but they also take freedom away. Now, you might be thinking, Susie, this is weird. Why are you anthropomorphizing yoga pants? Why are you even talking about yoga pants this way? If this is your first episode of Women in the Middle, you may in fact need some explanation. First of all, I'm so glad you're here. The answer is that we talk about a range of topics on the podcast. Midlife transitions, really. Then there's that other category. I like to call it midlife hilarity. There's just some laughing that's required with all of this aging stuff. So we're laughing and life coaching all at the same time. Also, I want to make sure that you know about the new little YouTube series that's called What's in Susie's Closet. Now remember, I'm sitting here right now recording in my closet. Some of you might even recognize it as a cedar closet. I'm completely surrounded by all kinds of memorabilia and clothes from decades gone by. It was totally inspired by the whole cedar closet thing, and it's all about midlife memories, insights, and laughs. They're short little clips, they're sentimental, they're funny, and it's all about stuff that I literally find in my closet, and I also think you'll recognize. Head over to YouTube and check it out. Just type in What's in Susie's Closet in the search. Okay, in the nutshell, this podcast, Women in the Middle, is all about this crazy phase of life and how to love it more than you currently do. I'm a master certified life coach. I was trained at the life coach school, and I have to tell you, I'm so happy to be your midlife coach and to be doing all of this exploration with you right here, right now. I guess you could say this podcast is really about how you get clear, how you get excited, and how you get going when it comes to midlife. Okay, back to the yoga pants. Today's topic falls into that category that I mentioned, that humorous category, midlife hilarity. So let's start with a question. Are you wearing yoga pants at this very moment? Oh my God, I heard you. A resounding yes from wherever you are, I heard. And they are probably one of the most comfortable pieces of clothing you have in your wardrobe. So many women in the middle have taken over this fashion statement and made it their own. Okay, I just put air quotes around the words fashion statement. You might know what I mean. It's not quite a fashion statement. I don't know. I'm never quite sure what the whole fashion statement thing really is about, but that's why I wanted to talk to you about yoga pants. Let's think back to when you bought your first pair of yoga pants. Now, I remember the first time for me, it was about 6 years ago. And it was just after I put a massive pack of paper towels, a 16-pack of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and a massive jar of unsalted mixed nuts in my cart. It was at Costco. The yoga pants were comfy and well priced. I could see the allure. Everyone seemed to have them. But me at that point, I was a late adopter. And I might add, I didn't do yoga. That's why I ignored them at first. I wasn't sure why everybody was wearing them. Was it because everyone did yoga? Did they really love them? Were they comfortable? Were they only for yoga? What was so special about them? I saw them there with all the other clothes in Costco, and I just couldn't resist. I felt a little like a fraud, but I bought them anyway, even with no yoga in sight for me. In fact, after a couple weeks, I could see exactly how comfortable they were, and I bought 2 more pairs. Suddenly, I didn't care so much about not doing yoga myself. Then one day, I remember making a decision to wear a pair to work, with a decent top, of course. I couldn't think of a reason not to, actually. They were black, they were comfortable, they were clean, and I'm short, so no one really notices anything I'm wearing down on my legs. It's too far low. So I did it. I worked in a department where most people worked in an office, and I had my own office with a door. So I figured nobody would really notice, and I wondered, didn't anyone ever even think this way anymore about appropriate attire? I mean, I'm not talking about something sleeveless, which seems to be a thing now. It doesn't seem to matter. And I'm not talking about something with cleavage. I'm just talking about yoga pants. I really figured it wouldn't be noticed. I remember my first professional job at a health department way back in 1989. It was straight from grad school. I had to go out and buy a couple of suits, pantyhose, and pumps to be dressed appropriately back then. But like I mentioned, not so much anymore. Now in the hospital, there were some rules about open-toed shoes being a problem, but other than that, where I worked, it felt more like a university than a hospital. And no one noticed. Like I said, I had a door. I was way more comfortable. So I did it again. And again. And I made sure to wear a tunic top so that, coupled with my lack of height, it really wasn't a big deal. And it's not like I was wearing anything super tight, with a revealing top or anything. I had a longer top on. So I don't know. It really wasn't a big deal. However, I did feel differently than when I was dressed more professionally, like classic professional attire. For sure, the pants were more comfortable, but it definitely felt pretty casual to me. Not quite as professional. Now, come on, I was wearing athletic wear to work, and I wasn't an athlete. I was wearing yoga pants to work, and I didn't even do yoga. There was a bit of a disconnect there for me on several levels. Now, I wasn't sure what it all meant, but I felt compelled to do it and not look back. Was it about comfort? Was it that it really didn't matter, like I was still doing my work? Was it that I was getting old and I just didn't care that much anymore? Now, I still took my job really seriously in terms of, what I was producing and timelines and all of that, but the pants I wore really didn't matter at all. I didn't meet with people outside of the organization, and often I really was just in my office at the computer. Now, I'm not sure when, but soon after this discovery of extreme comfort at work, I received a layoff notice. Now, I really don't think that these two things were related. Anyway, within 6 months of receiving this little gift, I figured out what I wanted to do, and I trained to be a professional life coach from the life coach school. The next thing I knew, I had a home-based business, and I became a work-at-home mom. Now, as you can imagine, yoga pants became part of my everyday uniform. Forget the stress, forget thinking about whether or not it's appropriate. Sneakers were right behind the yoga pants. Still no yoga, but wow, I loved that it didn't matter at all what I was wearing most of the time. With all of the webcam work that goes along with my profession, I soon discovered that really all I needed to do to look nice was focus on the waist up. How great is that, right? So I had comfy feet and yoga pants. I decided that I didn't need to wash my hair every day either. I still put on makeup, and like I said, I look presentable and professional from the waist up. But my new uniform included sneakers and yoga pants. I love my new uniform. I'm not sure why anyone would wear anything else. Except in the summer. That's when I changed my uniform to skirts. Remember skirts? A skirt with shorts underneath. I just love them, and I have about 4 pairs that I rotate all summer. But here's what I wanted to talk to you about. How do you feel when you make the choice to wear yoga pants instead of real pants? Do you follow? This is a perfect little self-coaching example for you to think about. Kind of like that episode I did about bad underwear. Remember that one? Episode 6? The thing about taking a look at your thoughts about your behavior is that it's an awesome opportunity to do a little check to make sure you like your reasons. Now, you're a big girl, a woman in the middle, and you can do what you want. But mindfulness is all about bringing greater perspective and consciousness to your life. So you do what you want, but you do it with more intention. It's about making sure that you're not just doing something out of habit. Because lots of times you may be doing something out of habit that doesn't make you feel that great. But you don't really know what's going on. You just know that you don't feel that great. So let's take a look. Ask yourself, why do you wear yoga pants? Dig a little. Think about it before you answer. Is your answer the most obvious one because they're comfortable? Or is it something else? Maybe that you've gained a few pounds and your jeans don't fit. Or maybe that you plan on going to the gym or on taking a class or even yoga, so you would rather get dressed now and save time changing later. These two reasons seem to be true for lots of us women in the middle. Remember how great maternity pants were? You could go up or down 20 or 30 pregnancy pounds in the same pair of pants. It's kind of like that with yoga pants. You don't really know what's going on with your weight when you wear them. They're beautifully stretchy, and it's easy to tune out and become less connected with your weight. Is that the reason you choose them? Could it be to hide from the truth? Interesting, right? What about this idea of saving prep time with exercise? Do you wear them because you want to be ready to go when you exercise, rather than having to change clothes? I mean, that's the case for me when it comes to a sports bra. They are hard to get in and out of, and I would just prefer to wear one first thing in the morning so that I only have to take it off. I don't need to put it on and off later on. But if that's true about the changing clothes in yoga pants, do you put them on and then actually exercise? Do you emphasize the planning of the exercising more than the actual exercising? So remember, you're a big girl. You can totally do what you want. But you have to like your reasons. Here's why. If you don't, the thought you will have about it will create feelings for you that suck. Honestly, they won't be useful at all. And the thing is that everything you do in this world is based on how you feel or how you think you'll feel. So if you feel like crap, how do you think you will go about your day? I'm not knocking the fact that yoga pants are super comfortable, but I've kind of been thinking about them lately like an analogy to avoiding the scale. You really can't tell if you've gained a few pounds because the waistband and overall structure of the pants, it's just so forgiving. Now, yoga pants, special pants for yoga, may be relatively new fashion direction for yoga. And I don't know about relatively new, but certainly it's become a much bigger deal in the last decade. But they aren't that original, really. Women, especially women in the middle, have been looking for comfortable pants for years. So think back for a second. Do you remember what comfortable pants were called in the 60s and 70s? Let me jog your memory. They weren't called yoga pants. No, they were called stretch pants. Remember? High-waisted polyester pants, often with giant bell bottoms. Now, if you take a minute and do a quick Google search, you will totally remember what they looked like. Now, we are not stupid. We know what feels good, and you know what feels good now. But my question to you is, does it also feel good deep down? This is why I said yoga pants can help you hide. You have to ask yourself, what do you really think about yourself when you put them on? How do these thoughts make you feel? Not at the surface, but when you dig a little deeper. Try to get at the thoughts. What are you thinking when you put them on? Do you think, oh my God, I'm going to be so super comfy today. I'm so glad they're clean. Or is it something like this? Oh my God, I hope my yoga pants are out of the dirty wash today because I know my jeans don't fit. It's very much like wearing crappy stretched out underwear, really. You actually choose to wear them, and as soon as you do, you don't feel great. You don't feel great because you think something that makes you feel bad. Maybe something like, wow, I really hate wearing these, or, oh, I should really throw these out. And I'm not even talking about fancy underwear, just undies that aren't in good shape. You often don't really like your reasons to continue to wear bad underwear, right? but you don't prioritize yourself, so you continue to allow yourself to feel bad. And again, I'm not making a comparison to having gorgeous, expensive underwear. I'm just talking about the choice to purchase and enjoy underwear that is in good enough shape to do its job well, and that you don't feel like crap when you choose them. If you want to refresh your memory or take a deeper dive into that whole topic, it is episode 6 in the Women in the Middle podcast. All right, so I really think that this whole yoga pants thing is similar. Yoga pants can be used as a way to hide from the truth, as a way to stay disconnected. You can see it, right? They might feel good on the outside, but not so much on the inside. This is because there's a little voice inside your head that is thinking they're the only thing that fit, or that you're stuck wearing them because everything else is uncomfortable. It can work the same way with exercise. If you put them on with the intention of exercising and then don't exercise, they also become a way to hide from reality, right? You're doing part of it, but not all of it, from what is really going on. And in this case, what's going on is that you didn't have your own back, right? You planned to exercise and then didn't, but you look the part. You totally look the part. Again, there's a disconnect, and it's your life. So my friends, this is what I mean about the trouble with yoga pants. You can love them or hate them depending on what's going inside your pants and also inside your head. You can love them because they're comfortable. They can help you exercise by providing comfort and stretch as you move with abandon. Even walking the dog becomes more comfortable. But you can also use them to hide. If you're not fully aware, you can use them as an excuse to disconnect from the truth. You can hide from the reality of weight gain. You can also avoid the reality of how often you don't follow through and do what you say you're going to do when it comes to honoring your commitment to yourself about exercise. Unfortunately, yoga pants don't have magical powers. They don't burn calories and increase flexibility on their own. So what can you do? The best thing to do in any of these situations when you do things out of habit is to pause for a second and ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Why do you love yoga pants? What do you make it mean that you're a regular wearer of yoga pants? Then notice how you feel when you think like that. These feelings will influence what you do or don't do that day. It may seem insignificant, but it can really affect what you're able to get done. If you notice that your feelings aren't useful and you're not accomplishing what you want, understand that it really is because of the way you're thinking. So you have to get out the flashlight, shine it on your brain, and see what the heck is going on up there. If you're thinking about the yoga pants as a way to keep yourself from knowing your real weight or from addressing why you're not sticking to your exercise plan, you get to decide if you like your reasons. That's really such great news because thoughts are optional, my friends. You don't have to continue with your habit if you don't want to. Who knew yoga pants could be so powerful or such a window to what is really going inside your brain? That's it for this episode. If you like what you've heard, just head over to the Women in the Middle podcast on iTunes and leave me a review. This is such a great way to help other women know that there's such good stuff going on in this podcast. Also, check out the show notes with more information and links at www.susierosenstein.com. And if you're frustrated and want some help, you have totally come to the right place. As I said, I help amazing women like you get excited about your life again. If you're stuck and not happy about yoga pants or anything else where you're at, it is time to stop wasting time, seriously, and focus on making a change. I offer a free 20-minute insight call, and I would love to hop on the phone and connect. If you're ready to get clear, get excited, and get going, let's talk. Life is too short to waste time in a frustrated, negative spin. You're not alone. You are really not alone. I always say that, but it is so true. Just go to www.susierosenstein.com. Hover over the About tab and you will see free session on the drop-down menu. Click there and you can book straight into my calendar. Super easy. And honestly, I can't wait to talk to you. Let's do this, ladies, one thought and one pair of yoga pants at a time. Thanks so much for listening.